Hello. It's a new day, isn't it? I hope so. Feels like I feel like lately everything feels like Groundhog's Day, where everything is the same day after day after day after day. That's I think just my mid-30s for me though, honestly, with a child, small child. But hey, I hope you guys are doing sorry, I hope you guys are doing good. I am bevied and baked, as always, and I am drinking a Coca-Cola zero sugar cherry, and it's good. I also got, oh, sorry, I'm saying, it's okay. I feel like every time I say it's okay, I can just picture myself like patting myself on the back. Good job. It's okay. It's fine. Um, well, now you guys know my deep dark secrets. Oh man, in the fashion of being bevied and baked, I had so much to talk about, but it's gone. I'm burning currently a strawberry incense. Oh my goodness, so sorry. You guys ever take deep breaths randomly? Like sometimes without your control? Like, does that ever happen to you, or your body forces you to take a long breath? What's that about? Should I do an episode on that? Is that it? Is that even studied? I don't know. These are all the things that prompt all of these things that I'm saying to you now that pop into my head, and I'm like, I wonder. And then my instinct takes over of study, learn about it. What is it? Find out the answer. But I digress. I'm burning a strawberry incense today. And right before I burned this one, I burned a amber and saffron. And that one actually was really, really nice. It kind of smelled it almost had a really sweet, leathery tobacco kind of when I first lit it. And then it transferred into I don't know. It was really, really nice though. And then I switched over to the strawberry. So if you ever want to know, you have to go buy strawberry and then the amber and saffron. Saffron. You gotta buy them if you want to know what I'm talking about. It's a good combo. All right. My dear husband let me do a reading on him right before I started recording. I don't know if I've told you guys, but I have a little hype up moment before I record. And I sit at my computer and I listen to some cool music and high tempo, hype music. And I get really happy. And it's a vibe. But that's I call it I don't know what I call it, but right now it's my hype party. So I asked my husband to join and he did, and it was so sweet. And I did a reading for him because I'm going to do a reading now. And it was really interesting. It was cool. So I'm so sorry. I'm so coffee. I say coffee. It's because I love coffee and I smoke a lot. Ooh, I also smoked some new Time Rebel. Well, the brand, I got them from Time Rebel Apothecary, and they came today, and I love them. I got the Celestial sample pack, but today I mixed some of my herb with these herbs, and it was from the Sunshine State. Sunshine State. That was very hard to say. Apparently. Also, my husband thought of this really cute idea that when I'm recording in the room, we have smart lights everywhere in our house. So he was like, we'll just turn the light in the hallway a different color. So now every time I record, my hallway is hot pink and I love it. So I'm like, at first I was like, no, it should be red, right? You know, red and green for like on air, off air. Oh, wait, off air would be, wait, is it red when it's recording? Oh, somebody tell me. Nah, I'll Google it. It's fine. But every time I say that word, I have to look over at my devices. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Again, I don't edit myself, and I am scatterbrained. I've warned you from the beginning. Some of you are too, I hope, and then take solace in the fact that I also am. But we can be okay, and we can be funny, and we can have fun together. Okay? I keep pointing, like you can see that I'm pointing. I shouldn't be pointing, that's rude. I was talking about my hallway, right? Anyway, I'm really happy that my hallway is hot pink. I can see it under my door. And it's just little things in life like that, but that bring me joy. I have so much joy, but my last episode, I went on a really long tangent about how depressed I was. And I mean, ebbs and flows, right? Mental health is not stagnant, at least not for me. Thankfully, I do have good days and I have bad days, but I do also have good parts and bad parts throughout my day, you know, and one thing, like one little thing could set me off, and that's not who I am as a person, but it's okay. Again, I have therapy every week. I have a psychiatrist. We're fine. We're fine. Again, when was the last time you took a deep breath? Should we do a breathing exercise? Should I force you into breathing exercises or at least listening to them? No, I'm not going to do that, but we should do them sometime, or you should do them sometime. I do them sometime. Sometimes. I don't know anymore. All right, we're going to get into the reading. I'm not setting a specific intention. I'm just going to kind of get a reading on myself today and like my vibe and my existence in a way, doing some introspection, seeing what I need to see, you know? So we're going to get at it. And I have my deck. Again, I have my meaning deck because I'm talking with you / the universe, and I do need assistance if I'm going to be speaking out loud or doing a reading for somebody at this point, but I need to get a really cute notebook. This is who I am as a person. Side quest. I need to get a really cute notebook to like study tarot in with highlighters, like special ones and like special page dividers and stuff. Like if I'm gonna do it, I need to like go all out. I have a specific one for Swahili and I love it. I went out and got these fine tip markers and they're beautiful. And I have one for my special journal. And like I have notebooks, and if I'm gonna do something, I want to get a special little notebook and like maybe even a special set of pens and a special set of highlighters and like I said, like the sticky tabby things. But I should do that. I just need more liquid, you know, more liquid funds. Anyway, back to the reading. You guys always distract me so much, you know? All right. So I have the 10 of Swords, and it is reversed. And this represents recovery, regeneration, rebirth, beneficial, improvement, advantage, and profit. Ooh, profit. I like that. Profit. Just kidding. I do have like a bonus coming up. Hopefully that will be nice. So hell, wait. I want to go correct myself. I can say hell. I'm allowed. It's my podcast and I warned you. And I say, nope, this is 18 plus only adults, you know? No chilling. All right. Anyway, that's cool. Card number 2 in the works. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. I don't know if you beep boop, beep boop. I can hear my son singing out there on the couch and it's so cute. I love him. He's singing, oh heck no, to the no, because he can't say hell. And I was just like, I can say hell. And it's really funny that he's like, heck no. He can't hear me, I don't think. Anyway, we go on a lot of side quests, don't we? It's about joy here. It's about balance and humanity and unedited. It's about all that here. I swear I'm going to get a card. All right, card number 2. We have the Fool. Oh, goodness. Means spread your wings and fly. Also represents anticipation, wonder, curiosity, awe, new journeys, care is needed, and potential. I like that. Care is needed. That is for sure. For sure. I also love, again, I just love the artwork on this deck. It's so pretty. I like looking at this Fool. He's got a cool, oh, there's a little white dog at his feet and he's got like big socks on. I don't know if big's the right word, but he's wearing a floral robe. I am a fool though. I like being goofy. All right, let's go for card number 3. Numero uno. All right, we're gonna go inverse. Sorry. This is inverse hermit, or the hermit. So it means hastiness, rashness, isolation, withdrawal, darkness, and mistrust. It's really funny. Okay, there's a pattern when I read that I've noticed. Every single time I've had a reading, I used to document these. I should document them more. Sorry, one second. Anyway, every time I do a reading, it's like I get 2 kind of positive themed cards at the beginning. And then my third one is always something towards like the negative. And that's fine. And that I totally believe in like the balance. And I'm actually really, coming out on the positive for that because 2/3 are good. But every time, even my husband's was like 2 good ones and a more like, hey, something to think about, right? It's so cool though. I love that about this. And I was explaining like, it's not about even necessarily if you believe in like the spiritual side of it, that it's connected with that. But it is a lot about introspection, right? Thinking about who you are as a person and who you want to be as a person and what's going on in your life. And it is therapeutic. Totally. I think everybody should do tarot. But it was funny because he was like, am I allowed to like just grab a card? And I did say, I'm like, hey, I will say every time I interact with my deck, I thank it before and after. And I said, whatever that means to you. So I was like, you don't have to like say it out loud and be like, oh my gosh, thank you. But I'm like, whatever it means in your mind to thank it and have gratitude for either the joy or the answers or whatever it brings you, right? And I'm like, I know it's silly, maybe to some people, but anyway, I do that before and after because it makes me feel like it's the right thing to do. Wow, it's been 13 minutes. Ooh, lucky number 13. Not my lucky number. I don't think I have any lucky numbers. Do you guys have lucky numbers? I'll drink my Diet Coke while you answer. While you decide what your lucky number is. I know maybe some people shouted it out right away. Right away. I'm like hitting my fist. I don't know if you can hear it. All right. So anyway, you guys, we're here to talk about a dude. Ooh, we're here to talk about a dude named Tarrare. And I can't really say it the correct way in French. I listened. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I listened to the pronunciation online a few times, and the closest I can get is Tarrare. So his name is Tarrare. That's kind of all I know. There's no like middle or last name. And this one is kind of it's a good one, you guys. It's a good one. This gentleman had a truly unique life, that's for sure. He was a French showman, a soldier, and a spy. But that's not all. He was mostly known for his unusual appetite and eating habits. You'll find out more about those. Trust me, they're not pleasant. If you're eating, I suggest you not be eating. Anyway, he would eat huge amounts of meat because he was constantly hungry. In fact, his parents could not provide enough food for him, and he was essentially kicked out of the family home as a teenager. He ended up traveling around France in the company of a band of prostitutes and thieves before becoming the warm-up act for a traveling charlatan. In this act, he swallowed corks, stones, live animals, and a whole basket full of apples. He then took this act to Paris, where he worked as a street performer. And then at the start of the War of the First Coalition, Tarrare joined the French Revolutionary Army, where he, even quadrupling the standard military ration, was unable to satisfy his insane appetite. He ate any food available to him, including what came from gutters and rubbish heaps. It's all, you can tell it's very like French because it's rubbish heaps. And I am referencing, by the way, I'm reading not reading from, but I am you guys, I took notes from the Wikipedia page on Tarrare. It's a really good read. You should read it. And you can see like pictures and stuff of him. He kind of looked cute, like just innocent in a way. And I felt bad for him. We're going to get into all of it, but you can make your own opinions on how you feel about him. But anyway, he joined he joined the French Revolutionary Army. And again, they just could not keep up with how much he needed. So he was eating out of garbage piles and all of that. And then even with all of this, his condition still kept getting worse through hunger. He was just hungry all the time. He then was hospitalized due to exhaustion and became the subject of a series of medical experiments to test his eating capacity, in which, among other things, he ate a meal intended for 15 people in a single sitting. This involved live cats, snakes, lizards, and puppies, and swallowed eels also whole without chewing. And by this, I mean like the series of tests that he went under. We'll again get into a little bit more of that later. Ooh, I forget. Okay, sorry. Pause. Not you guys. Don't you pause. Oh no. Every time I click out of it, I lose my... Sorry. Technical difficulties. Bum, 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 oh, bum, bum. Sorry. I'm also subjecting you not only to my voice, but also to my terrible singing. You're so welcome. Bow, 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 bow. Sorry, please hold. You guys are just learning with me as I struggle through finding out what all of this means to me. Okay, so I had to set it up so that I could just page down instead of having to scroll on my mouse. Oh, by the way, if you guys do not know or have not watched, oh man, I forgot the name of the show. Modern Family. There we go. If you haven't watched it, it's really, really funny. I find it really funny. But there's an episode and we watched it last night. And by the way, we're like rewatching. But one of the episodes last night was the episode where Gloria had a dream about black mice. And then also one of the kids saw a black mouse or like Phil or something. And it's this whole thing. But anyway, this is what happens in my brain. I was thinking about my computer mouse, and then that's where my brain went instead of focusing on what I'm supposed to do, which is talk to you in the ball face. You're way in front of me, and you're so cute. All right. Back to it. Despite his unusual diet, he was underweight, except for his eating habits. He showed no signs of mental illness, other than that what was described as an apathetic temperament. General Alexandra de Barrenes. I'm so sorry if I murdered that. I probably did. I do be. Oh my gosh, it's not working. I need this just to work. Oh, that's so cute. You guys can't see it, but I can see it. I can see it. I added my sources and it like brought up a picture of him in my notes and it was like, hey dude. All right. So this guy, the guy that I butchered his name, he decided to put Tarrare's abilities to military use and hired him as a courier for the French army with the intention that he would swallow documents, pass them through enemy lines, and then recover them from his stool once safely at his destination. On his first mission, he was captured by Prussian forces and severely beaten and was subjected to a mock execution before being returned to French lines. Holy fucking fuck, dude. Like, really? Holy fucking fuck. Brought down by this experience, he agreed to submit to any procedure that might cure him of his appetite. These procedures failed, and the doctors could not keep up with a controlled diet. Eventually, he snuck out of the hospital to scavenge for offal. And then if you don't know what offal is, or offal, it's the entrails of animals used as food. So he found this in gutters, trash piles, and outside of butcher shops. And he even attempted to drink the blood of other patients in the hospital while they were being bloodletted. And then also, he did eat the corpses that were in the hospital's morgue. After being suspected of eating a 1-year-old toddler, you heard that right, he was ejected from the hospital. Good, as he should have been, right? He reappeared 4 years later in Versailles with a case of severe tuberculosis, and he died shortly afterwards, following a lengthy bout of diarrhea. So that's kind of the gist of it. That's the cliff notes. If you don't want to listen any further, I don't blame you, but I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about a lot of this, or I guess all of it. So let's talk about his early life, shall we? Before all of the awful things we just talked about, I do kind of feel bad for him, you know, but also why? You know, why? Why people? The morgue? People in the morgue? I guess I understand out of like just sheer desperation he must have felt when he's just that hungry all the time. I guess I do see it, but it's just, I guess I feel bad that he had to resort to eating humans, you know, like he just was so insatiably hungry. Like, I do get it. I don't know. This is like, I read these things and I'm like, but what, you know, like what, and it's dumbfounding to me. That's really you just experience what it's like to be dumbfounded. But anyway, so Tarrare was born near Lyon around 1772. His date of birth is unrecorded, and it's not even known if Tarrare was his real name or a nickname. As a child, Tarrare had a huge appetite, and by his teens could eat a quarter of a cow, weighing as much as Tarrare himself in a single day. By this time, his parents could not provide for him and had forced him to leave the home. For some years after this, he toured the country with a roaming band of thieves and prostitutes, stealing and begging for food before gaining employment as a warm-up act to a traveling charlatan. This is kind of all where Tarrare drew a crowd, by eating those corks, stones, and live animals, and by swallowing an entire basket full of apples one after the other. He ate ravenously and was particularly fond of snake meat. Don't know why. Doesn't go into further detail. I don't know if I really want to know. In 1788, Tarrare moved to Paris to work as a street performer. He appears to have been successful in general, but on one occasion the act went wrong and he suffered severe intestinal obstruction. Members of the crowd carried him to a hospital, like how nice, by the way, where he was treated with powerful laxatives. He made a full recovery and offered to demonstrate his act by eating the surgeon's watch and chain, in which his surgeon replied, not impressed by the way, that he warned if he did, that he would cut Tarrare open to recover the items himself. Like, fucking harsh, man. How is Tarrare as a person? I heard you ask it from way over there, that's right. So despite his unusual diet, Tarrare was slim and of average height. At the age of 17, he weighed only about 100 pounds. He was described as having unusually soft hair and abnormally wide mouth, roughly about 4 inches between his jaws when his mouth was fully extended, in which his teeth were heavily stained and on which the lips were almost invisible. When he had not eaten, his skin hung so loosely that he could wrap the fold of skin from his abdomen around his waist. And then when full, his abdomen distended like a huge balloon. That's quoted, quote unquote, like a huge balloon. The skin of his cheeks was wrinkled and hung loosely. And then when stretched out, he could hold 12 eggs or apples in his mouth. His body was hot to the touch, and he sweated heavily. He constantly had a foul body odor. He was described as smelling to such a degree that he could not be endured within the distance of 20 paces. This smell became noticeably worse after he had eaten. His eyes and cheeks became bloodshot. A visible vapor. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. A visible vapor rose from his body, and he became lethargic, during which time he belched noisily, and his jaws made swallowing motions while he slept. He also had chronic diarrhea, and which was said to be so fetid beyond all conception. And fetid means kind of just like so foul. Just foul. Yeah, it's awful. Bad. So, despite his large intake of food, he did not appear to either vomit excessively or to gain weight. Aside from his eating habits, I'm so sorry, his contemporaries saw no apparent signs of mental illness or unusual behavior in him, other than the apathetic temperament with a quote-unquote complete lack of force and ideas. So I just feel like he's just not a lot like going on besides hunger. Just hunger. I'm hungry. Hungry hippo. Also, I'm so sorry. I'm going to drink a little bit of my Diet Coke. It's actually a Coke Zero. Cherry. Oh, I've become parched. All right. The cause of Tarrare's behavior is not known. While there are documented cases of similar behavior from the period, none of the subjects other than Tarrare were autopsied, and there have been no modern documented cases resembling Tarrare. Hyperthyroidism can induce an extreme appetite, rapid weight loss, profuse sweating, heat intolerance, and fine hair. There was a doctor in 2016, I think, with the last name Bodnison. They speculate that Tarrare had a damaged amygdala, and it is known that injuries to the amygdala in animals can induce polyphagia. Tarrare also served in the military. We talked about that a little bit at the beginning, but yes, he served in the military. On the outbreak of the War of the First Coalition, Tarrare joined the French Revolutionary Army. However, military rations again were insufficient to satisfy his appetite. He carried out tasks for other soldiers in return for a share of their rations and scavenged in the dung heaps for scraps. But this was still not enough to satisfy him. He was admitted to a military hospital with a case of extreme exhaustion. He was granted quadruple rations, but still remained hungry. He scavenged for garbage. He scavenged for garbage, ate the scraps of food left by other patients, and crept into the apothecary's room to eat the poultices. Military surgeons could not understand his appetite. Tarrare was ordered to remain in the military hospital to take part in physiological experiments designed by Dr. Corville, and he was a surgeon to the 9th Hussar Regiment, and Pierre-Francois Percy, who was the surgeon-in-chief of the hospital. Corville and Percy decided to test Tarrare's capacity for food. A meal had been prepared for 15 laborers near the hospital's gates. Although generally hospital staff restrained Tarrare in the presence of food, on this occasion, Corville allowed him to reach the table undisturbed. Tarrare ate the entire meal of 2 large meat pies, plates of grease and salt, and 4 gallons of milk, and then immediately fell asleep. Corville noted that Tarrare's belly became taut and inflated like a large balloon. On another occasion, Tarrare was presented with a live cat. Trigger warning. If you don't want to hear about a cat getting murdered, do not listen, probably for the next, 30 seconds, okay? He promptly tore the cat's abdomen open with his teeth, drank its blood, and then proceeded to eat the entire cat aside from its bones, before vomiting the remnants of its fur and its skin. Following this, the hospital staff offered Tarrare a variety of other animals, including snakes, lizards, and puppies, all of which were eaten. He also swallowed an entire eel without even chewing, having first crushed its head with his teeth. After several months that he spent as an experimental case, military authorities began to press for Tarrare to be returned to active duty. Dr. Corville was keen to continue his investigations into Tarrare's eating habits and digestive system and approached General Alexander de Beauharnais with a suggestion that Tarrare's unusual abilities and behavior could be put to military use. A document was placed inside a wooden box, which was in turn fed to Tarrare. 2 days later, the box was retrieved from his excrement, with the document still in legible condition. Corville proposed to Beauharnais that Tarrare could thus serve as a military courier carrying documents securely through enemy territory with no risk of them being found out if he were searched. Tarrare was called by Beauharnais. I'm just going to say, it's fun to say, but I think it is like Beauharnais or something. Anyway, Tarrare was called on by Beauharnais to demonstrate his abilities before a gathering of commanders of the Army of the Rhine. Having swallowed the box successfully, Tarrare was given a wheelbarrow filled with 30 pounds of raw bull's lungs and a liver as a reward, which he immediately ate in front of the assembled generals. Following the successful demonstration, Tarrare became employed officially as a spy for the Army of the Rhine. Although General de Beauharnais, why do I add an R? It's funner that way, I guess. He was convinced that Tarrare's physical capacity to carry messages internally, he was concerned about his mental state and initially reluctant to entrust him with significant military documents. Tarrare was ordered as his first assignment to carry a message to a French colonel imprisoned by the Prussians near Neustadt. He was told that the documents were of great military significance, but in reality, de Beauharnais had merely written a note asking the colonel to confirm that the message had been received successfully, and if so, to return a reply of any potentially useful information about the Prussian troop movements. Tarrare crossed the Prussian lines under cover of darkness, disguised as a German peasant. Unable to speak German, he soon attracted the attention of local residents, who alerted the Prussian authorities, and he was captured outside of Landau. A strip search found nothing suspicious on his person, and despite being whipped by Prussian soldiers, he refused to betray his mission. Brought before the local Prussian commander, General Zogli, he again refused to talk and was imprisoned. After 24 hours of captivity, Tarrare relented and explained the scheme to his captors. He was chained to a latrine, and eventually, 30 hours after being swallowed, the wooden box emerged. Zogli was furious when the documents, which Tarrare had said contained vital intelligence, transpired only to be de Beauharnais' dummy message. And Tarrare was taken to the gallows. He had a noose placed around his neck. Some sources state that General Zogli never retrieved the box, and that Tarrare had the presence of mind to recover and eat the stool containing it before it was seized by the Prussians. So you can believe that if you want. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, you guys, but fuck, it's just messed up. I can't imagine someone eating their own shit. But I guess I could imagine Tarrare doing that. At the last minute, Zogli relented, and Tarrare was taken down from the scaffold, given a severe beating, and released near the French lines. Following this incident, Tarrare was desperate to avoid any further military service, no fucking shit, and he was returned to the hospital, telling Percy that he would attempt any possible cure for his appetite. Percy treated him with laudanum without success, and then further treatments with wine vinegar and tobacco pills were likewise unsuccessful. Following these failures, Percy fed Tarrare large quantities of soft-boiled eggs, but this also failed to suppress his appetite. Efforts to keep him on any kind of controlled diet failed. He would sneak out of the hospital, again to scavenge for insides, intestines, animals outside of butcher shops, and to fight stray dogs for rotting meat in the alleys and in the garbage piles. He also was caught several times within the hospital drinking from patients undergoing bloodletting, and attempting to eat the bodies of the hospital's morgue. Other doctors believed that Tarrare was mentally ill and pressed for him to be transferred to the lunatic asylum, but Percy was keen to continue his experiments with Tarrare and remained in the military hospital. After some time, a 14-month-old toddler disappeared from the hospital, and Tarrare was immediately suspected of having consumed the toddler due to his past eating of small animals. Percy was unable or unwilling to defend him, and the hospital staff chased Tarrare from the hospital, to which he never returned. 4 years later, in 1978, M. Tessier of Versailles Hospital contacted Percy to notify him that a patient of theirs wished to see him. It was Tarrare, now bedridden and weak. Tarrare told Percy that he had swallowed a golden fork 2 years earlier, in which he believed was now lodged inside of him and causing him the current weakness. He hoped that Percy could find some way to remove the golden fork. Percy, however, recognized that he had advanced tuberculosis. A month later, Tarrare began to experience continuous diarrhea, dying shortly afterwards. The corpse rotted quickly. The surgeons of the hospital refused to dissect it. Tessier, however, wanted to find out how Tarrare's intestines differed from those of a normal person. He also was curious as to whether the gold fork was lodged inside of him. At the autopsy, Tarrare's gullet was found to be abnormally wide, and when his jaws were opened, surgeons could see down a broad canal just into the stomach. His body was found to be filled with pus. His liver and gallbladder were abnormally large, and his stomach was enormous, covered in ulcers and filling most of his abdominal cavity. No fork was ever found. Side note, while it's not possible to tell exactly when he was born, doctors estimated his age to be about 26 when he died in 1798. In my notes, I accidentally transposed them, and it says 1978, but I know it wasn't. Sorry, I booped you. How to face it. But again, I can't imagine. This man was just literally hungry his whole life and then exploded shit out of himself for a long time. He basically had diarrhea every time he pooped. And as a lactose intolerant person, I kind of understand that. But I can't imagine eating a quarter of a cow a day and then diarrheaing that out. It would take a long time. Especially, he's 100 pounds. Oh, sorry. I get distracted by the details because it's just insane to me. Anyway, I kind of wish he could have made his sideshow work. I kind of do. I feel like once he went into the military, that's what everything kind of went downhill for him. I don't know why. That sounds kind of like he tried his best, but he suffered a lot. But also why people, he could have stayed away from the people, but I get the desperation. I don't know. Rip, dude, rip. I hope he, has endless amounts of food wherever he is. Or honestly, no, I don't hope that he has endless amounts of food. I hope that he doesn't have the endless hunger anymore. Yeah, see. There's also, by the way, there's a novel that you can read. It's called The Glutton. It's by A.K. Blakemore. And this, it kind of fictionalizes, but it also recounts Tarrare's life. So I think I'm adding that to my read list. I have a long read list and not a long list of time. Does that make sense? I don't think so. Anyway, I'm going to go eat pizza. It's pizza night. I say pizza night we have set pizza nights, but we don't. But it's pizza night. We got pizza. My husband brought it home. He's so sweet. Also, you guys, my 7-year-old cooked me a full meal today. I sat at the dining room table and he was so sweet and he was like, "No, you sit down, Mom. I'll cook for you. You just sit down and relax." And I was like, "Okay." I kept a really good eye on him. My husband has taught him how to cook since he was a baby, basically. And like, he also baked his own cake for his 7th birthday. So he knows what he's doing. He's very safe. I watched him the whole time. But it was so sweet. He just the whole time he was like, "No, Mom, you sit down and just sit down and relax and I'll cook for you." And he was like, "How many eggs do you want and how many pieces of toast?" It was so cute. How did I create such a kind human being? And like, I don't mean to say that and take that credit away from him because he's creating himself all on his own, but I'm contributing a little bit and so is everybody else in his life, and that's really, really cool. Kind of like, hopefully I'm contributing to your life in a weird way. Adding just a little bloop of weird. Just weird. You know, go weird. Weird. I don't know. All right. Bye, guys. I need to know, by the way, you need to comment on the episode if you have ranch with your pizza. I need to know. Ooh, also, do you guys like, you don't have to tell me, but I figured out finally how to make clips for my episodes. It took a long time. Not a long time. It took a couple days, but I finally figured it out, and I'm going to hopefully be uploading clips shortly after I upload episodes, because I want to put the episodes out and then put the clips out. And I don't know why I want to do it that way, but I want to, and I'm going to do it that way. But I really hope you guys have a really good rest of however long it is until I see you / talk to you next time. Thank you so much if you've made it this far. I don't know what my next episode is on. I have a list of things to talk about, but I haven't set in stone yet. So it's just kind of cool. I do this all on the fly, and I'll have something that like really sparks my interest, and then I'll do a ton of research for hours and get lost in it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go record. And it kind of just happens on the fly like that. But I like it like that for now. But I do understand, like, if people want to listen consecutively, or like if they want to continue listening, I understand that consistency is really important. But I am so not ready to commit to that yet. And I don't know if I ever will. But that's okay. I'm still going to show up. And if I stop showing up, I'm really sorry. Or maybe that's a blessing to you. I don't know. Ugh, you guys, I'm just always confused. Are you also always confused? Just like somebody, I need an adultier adult. Like, that blows my mind that I'm the adult in my life. And I need an adultier adult sometimes. Just to be like, nah, it's okay. I'll call into work for you. You don't have to go. I'll sit and I'll watch The Price is Right and Supermarket Sweep, was it? Oh man, Days of Our Lives. I used to watch so much Days of Our Lives too, because it was just like reruns all the time. And Three's Company. Am I dating myself? No, I'm already married. All right. Okay. I'm going to dismiss myself after that. Bye.